The mystery attacker reveal is an absolute joke. Bron Breakker's mystery attacker was finally revealed on Raw last night, and after 12 weeks of build-up, after months of speculation and fan theories, after WWE hyping this as a shocking revelation that will change everything, the person behind the attacks is Baron Corbin. Yes, the same Baron Corbin who's been fired and rehired multiple times, who has zero connection to Bron Breakker, whose motivation is literally, "I'm jealous that young guys get pushed over veterans." The most generic, most lazy, most insulting reveal WWE could have possibly delivered. This isn't just disappointing, this is proof that WWE didn't plan this storyline at all. They created a mystery angle without knowing who the attacker would be, strung fans along for 3 months with no actual direction, and then threw Baron Corbin into the role at the last minute because someone got injured or creative couldn't come up with anything better. And we're all supposed to accept this garbage and pretend it was good storytelling when it's actually the exact opposite. But here's what makes this absolutely infuriating: the reveal happened in the most anticlimactic way possible. No dramatic confrontation. No satisfying payoff. Just Baron removing his mask during a backstage segment, cutting a 30-second promo with motivation so thin it could blow away in a light breeze, and then getting immediately beaten down by Bron in a revenge that felt hollow because nobody cares about this feud now that we know how pointless the entire build was. Smash that like button and subscribe to Wrestling News CC because I'm about to break down exactly why this reveal is a creative disaster, how WWE wasted 12 weeks building to nothing, and why Baron Corbin and Bron Breakker both deserve better than being sacrificed to Triple H's inability to plan storylines more than 2 weeks in advance. Let me walk you through this catastrophe step by step because the execution was somehow even worse than the concept. Raw opens with Bron Breakker backstage, and he's finally received credible intelligence about who's been attacking him for 3 months. Not through his own detective work. Not through a dramatic discovery. Just, someone told him off-screen who it was. That's terrible storytelling. The protagonist didn't earn the information that solves the mystery. It was just handed to him because WWE needed to move the storyline along and couldn't be bothered to create an actual satisfying path to the reveal. Bron storms through backstage looking for his attacker. Cameras follow him as he checks various locations. The tension is supposed to be building, but it's not because we all know WWE's track record with mystery reveals is awful, so nobody's expectations are high. Then Bron kicks open a locker room door and there's a masked figure standing there. The figure slowly removes the mask and it's Baron Corbin. Standing there with a smug expression like he just pulled off the heist of the century instead of a mediocre storyline that went nowhere. The crowd reaction is silence. Not heat. Not shock. Just confused silence because Baron Corbin makes zero sense as Bron's mystery attacker. They've never feuded before. They've never had meaningful interactions. They're not from the same generation or developmental class. There's no organic connection between these two wrestlers. But wait, it gets worse. Baron's explanation for why he attacked Bron is literally, "Triple H keeps pushing young guys like you instead of respecting veterans like me who've paid our dues. So I decided to take you out and prove that experience matters more than youth and athleticism." That's it. That's the big motivation after 12 weeks of mystery. Generic veteran jealousy that we've seen 50 times in wrestling history. No personal vendetta. No family connection. No shocking revelation about their pasts. Just, "I'm old and bitter about younger talent getting opportunities." This is the laziest possible explanation WWE could have created. It requires no creativity, no planning, and no investment in making this feud actually mean something. It's placeholder motivation that could apply to literally any veteran attacking any young wrestler. The crowd's confusion turns to boos not at Baron as a heel getting heat, but at WWE for delivering such a disappointing payoff to 3 months of build-up. And Baron can feel it. You can see in his body language that even he knows this reveal is falling flat. Before Baron can even finish explaining himself, Bron attacks. And what should be a cathartic moment of revenge feels hollow because we all just realized the past 12 weeks were meaningless. Bron beats down Baron for about 90 seconds, way shorter than you'd expect for someone finally getting their hands on their tormentor, and then security breaks it up. That's the entire segment. Maybe 5 minutes total. The big reveal that WWE hyped for weeks gets 5 minutes and ends with everyone feeling cheated rather than satisfied. Here's why this reveal is so catastrophically bad. First, Baron Corbin has zero credibility as a mastermind. He's been positioned as a mid-card wrestler who loses more than he wins. The idea that he could orchestrate months of successful attacks on Bron Breakker, WWE's dominant rising star, is laughable. It makes Bron look weak for not catching Baron sooner, and it makes Baron look lucky rather than skilled. Second, the lack of planning is obvious. Multiple sources confirm that Baron wasn't the original choice for this role. WWE had someone else lined up who would have made more sense and created better storytelling, but that person either got injured, had contract issues, or creative changed their mind. So they threw Baron into the spot with minimal setup and hoped fans wouldn't notice how poorly it fit. That's not storytelling, that's emergency booking disguised as mystery. Third, the motivation is insultingly generic. Veteran mad at young guy getting pushed is Wrestling 101. It's the default storyline when creative has no ideas. It requires no creativity, no character depth, no exploration of complex themes. It's just old versus young, which has been done to death. Fourth, this reveal wastes both wrestlers. Bron Breakker should be in important feuds that elevate his status. Instead, he just spent 3 months building toward a reveal that makes him look foolish for not figuring it out sooner. Baron Corbin could have been used in meaningful programs, but instead he's the disappointing answer to a mystery nobody cares about anymore. The locker room reaction is reportedly frustrated. Wrestlers who were invested in this storyline thinking it might lead somewhere interesting feel betrayed that WWE wasted everyone's time on such a weak payoff. And Baron himself is apparently unhappy about being inserted into this role without proper build-up or motivation that makes sense for his character. Let's compare this to previous mystery attacker reveals to show how consistently WWE fails at this specific storyline type. Rowan attacking Roman Reigns *, built for weeks, revealed to be Rowan with a wrench, motivation never properly explained, storyline fizzled immediately. Retribution's mysterious attacks * weeks of masked figures attacking people, revealed to be rookies nobody knew, faction became a joke within weeks. Eric Rowan's cage mystery * months of what's in the cage build-up, revealed to be a puppet, one of the worst storylines in WWE history. Mustafa Ali as SmackDown hacker * mystery hacker helping babyfaces, revealed to be Ali, character went nowhere afterward. WWE has a proven track record of botching mystery angles. They create mysteries without planning satisfying reveals. They hype them as shocking when they're actually predictable or disappointing. And they never learn from past failures because they keep doing the exact same thing. Here's my theory on what actually happened behind the scenes. WWE created this mystery angle for Bron without deciding who the attacker would be. They figured they'd work it out later based on who was available and what made sense at the time of the reveal. That person, whoever it was originally supposed to be, became unavailable for whatever reason. So WWE's creative team panicked. They needed someone who could fill the role immediately without requiring weeks of additional setup. Baron Corbin was available, not doing anything important, and willing to take the spot. So they threw him in, created the thinnest possible motivation, and hoped the audience would just accept it. That's not planning. That's improvisation. And bad improvisation at that. The fan reaction has been overwhelmingly negative. Social media is flooded with complaints about how disappointing this reveal was. People are angry that WWE wasted 3 months building to nothing. They're sympathetic to both Bron and Baron being stuck in this terrible storyline. And they're frustrated that WWE keeps doing mystery angles despite never being able to execute them satisfyingly. Here's what should have happened if WWE was actually competent at storytelling. The mystery attacker should have been someone with an actual connection to Bron. Maybe someone from his NXT days who felt overshadowed by Bron's success. Maybe a member of his own family who resents that Bron got opportunities based on the Steiner name. Maybe even a shocking return of someone we thought was retired or gone from WWE. Any of those would be more interesting than Baron Corbin is generically jealous. They would create actual emotional investment in the feud. They would give both wrestlers something meaningful to work with in promos and matches. But WWE chose the easiest, most generic option because they apparently don't believe in investing effort into storylines anymore. They just want quick, disposable content that fills TV time without requiring creativity or long-term planning. The worst part? This storyline isn't even over. WWE will probably drag out Bron vs. Baron for another 4 to 6 weeks, building to a blow-off match at a minor pay-per-view that nobody cares about because the reveal already killed all interest in this feud. So we get months more of watching two talented wrestlers stuck in a storyline that should have ended the moment the reveal happened. That's not long-term storytelling, that's stretching out a failed angle because WWE doesn't know how to cut their losses and move on. My prediction? Bron beats Baron in their eventual match. The feud ends with zero character development for either guy. Bron moves on to something else without this storyline having elevated him at all. And Baron goes back to the midcard where he's been stuck for years, having accomplished nothing except being the disappointing answer to a mystery nobody wanted solved this way. Drop your thoughts. Is Baron Corbin the worst possible reveal for this mystery? Should WWE stop doing mystery attacker angles since they never work? And what storyline should Bron Breakker be in instead of this garbage? Comments below because WWE needs to hear that fans are done with lazy creative decisions. This is Wrestling News CC, where we hold WWE accountable for wasting our time with poorly planned storylines. Subscribe for continued coverage of how WWE manages to consistently botch the same types of angles over and over. Baron Corbin is the mystery attacker. The motivation is generic veteran jealousy. 12 weeks of build-up led to the most disappointing reveal possible. And both Bron Breakker and Baron Corbin are stuck in a feud nobody cares about because WWE can't plan storylines properly. This isn't just a bad reveal, this is proof that WWE creates mystery angles without knowing who the mystery person will be, then scrambles to fill the role when they can't delay anymore. It's lazy. It's disrespectful to the audience's intelligence. And it's exactly why fans are increasingly checking out of WWE programming. Bron Breakker deserves better. Baron Corbin deserves better. And fans deserve better than watching WWE repeatedly make the same mistakes with mystery storylines that never pay off satisfyingly. But hey, at least it's consistent. WWE has been disappointing us with mystery reveals for years. Why would they start doing it right now? Hashtag Bron Breakker, hashtag Baron Corbin, hashtag WWE, hashtag Raw, hashtag Mystery Attacker, hashtag Creative Failure.